and he'll go ahead and walk me through this process as we all go through it together.
Okay.
But yeah, it's.
I have a question because Mr. Hansen said we've never tried. Is that something that you think we should do?
Definitely.
To see if we can get on
Because we
it?
never owned it before, so it wasn't a priority.
Oh, okay, to get it on the
Okay, because
historic
we've only bought the
registry.
building recently. Like I stated before, supervisors back past the 90s was trying to buy that building to
Right.
restore it. Earl would not sell it to us, but his family knew that he wanted us to have it when he passed.
Right.
So I think we got a very good deal on buying the building because the family knew that. And that's what happened when Earl passed. That's a gentleman that lived there.
Mm-hmm.
We acquired the property, but before then, nobody would, if you put it on the, the historic line, Earl would have had a hard time with the house when he was living there. Because it would have been on the registry. He couldn't have changed the color of his door or done anything.
Right.
And he was a great guy. He worked for the township for years. So I think now we should try.
So if we do that and it becomes a historic.
That would open you to a lot more grants.
More grants, but then aren't you restricted on how you actually fix it? And could it actually cost a lot more money to fix it? 'Cause
It
you
could
have to
cost more
restore
money.
it Versus
Could
saying,
cost-
hey, could we just make it look good?
Well, I think the
Sentimental
original
value, make it
plan,
look nice on the outside.
I think that's what the original plan, mostly with the historical buildings, it's more the outside of the building. It doesn't affect usually a lot of the interior, because you have new rules with ADA and all that, which you have to meet. You cannot restore it to a building that has 7 steps to get in and all that, because that's not legal. So it's a
Does
line.
historical bypass that?
No,
ADA?
sometimes, no, not if you're gonna use it as a public, open it to the
Right,
public.
okay.
That's why most museums now have these very ugly outside ramps to go around the building so you can get in,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it makes sense to do the historical registry where we're then bound by certain restrictions to
Yep, to have it do it.
rehab,
And it would open you
refurbish
for
it.
more grant money.
It would open us to more grant money, but would it be actually less expensive to just say, let's make it look good and,
Probably less expensive to make it look good.
yeah.
But from what you said.
But we may
the
not get
current
grants
grant,
then.
It's already restoring it to its historic value.
That's what it's written as right now.
So.
Basically, we'd be
we're
ripping
into
the
that.
siding off and making it a brick building again,
Mhm.
like the picture in the back of the room.
Right.
So yeah, so that was, that's what I got there. He also said, if we did go that route, Dave, that we would just have to let them know. We're not gonna get in trouble for giving them the funds back. And then he would suggest, historical societies have the same grants available to them through the state as well. If the township chose to go back and chose to back away, a historical society could move forward after applying for it. So that's another route there. So and the only reason I asked about that is that's what another resident had said. So I just went and got all the answers to what everybody as we all talked about that evening.
Yeah,
I went and found out for
grants
everybody,
ready.
so there's no, hey, I favor this or I favor that. I just wanted to blanket cover everything. So yeah, so that's where we stand with that. I think we, okay, so that.
Do we have next steps for that though? Or we're just okay slowing down a little bit,
Just
figuring
bump the
out
brake.
how we wanna do
Yeah, so that's.
potentially the other projects that come into play that we've had discussions about, they're just not on the old business agenda, but
Right, so
could
at
be on
this.
next week, the plans we got for, the extra garage.
Loose, yeah.
Okay.
So this here was just to update the
Yep.
grant. You had been away,
Mhm.
and I don't know if Sean was where. I think we all left that meeting. We're just gonna find out blanket.
Yeah.
So that was the update as a follow-up. I didn't want you guys to think I sat in my house and did nothing all week.
And it was a hot issue that night, so
Oh, yeah.
I think we just need to make sure we're doing the right thing moving forward,
Right.
so.
And that's what I put here. In
If the
conclusion,
questions to the grant, slow it down a bit, we're good with slowing it down, and let's make sure we're moving in the right direction.
right, and that's what I wrote. In conclusion, the community as a whole needs to figure out what it would like to see done with the house moving forward and the costs associated with it. Period. So that's just a way for us to pump the brakes. We took the ARPA funds away. We did put them towards the Faust Road project. That's moving forward.
What did we already put into the house? What did we get 5 for? Because you're saying we got a
hundred
good
and
deal?
forty some,
No.
wasn't it?
It was 2-something.
It was 177,000,
177.
and with all the architectural plans and everything, right now, we're sitting at 200,000. Yeah. I talked to Mr. Bruce about it too, gentleman at your firehouse, Bruce Richards. Richard, I talked to him at length about it too. Probably for over an hour and a half, sitting in the township when I was secretary for Miss Kate for a day. But, yeah, so it's ripe for discussion, is what I'm saying. Our next step is to pump the brakes there. I think we should focus on the roads department down here, trying to get with Luce next week and get that moving, as far as that went. But other than that, that's where we sit for the schoolhouse grant. Any other
Any
questions?
2006 will come quick if you don't start working on it.
Mhm.
You got free time?
Sure.
You visited, you know what I mean? No, I agree with you.
I'll take over
2026
and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2026. is
Don't
it.
complain how I do it though.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, so we're all updated on that there. Let's go ahead. Next one was trash service. So this was just something I had, you know, with the whole AJ Belinsky thing. You know, everybody was up in arms. Only had one trash service. Complained about the amount it was costing. Does Whitetail do per crossing?
No,
No, it changed. Yeah, it's
Republic or something.
I don't remember who it is.
I
Look at
don't,
my trash
it's
on
a
it.
company I've never heard of.
Okay, so the reason they picked it up was there's 335 homes, I think, 335, maybe 350? I don't know, there's a bunch.
330.
330. There's a bunch over there. So that's why they would come in and do it. But for everybody else, they were telling a lot of the residents, hey, listen, we're only gonna come in and pick up 20, 30 homes. It doesn't pay for us to do it. So some of us got, you know, saddled with Whitetail. Now, there's been a ton of complaints about them in the past. Not, you know, I don't personally have a problem, but I figured a way we could remedy this to maybe get our trash rates lowered in the community is to go out and put an RFP out and say, hey, who would like to service Upper Frederick? And then we could drive the rates down, I believe, here. But we may get different vendors as well applying to come into Upper Frederick, whether it's Republic, Waste Management. I know when AJ Belinsky dove out of here, I called all kinds of trash companies and none of them were coming in for those little bit of houses. So I think if we went out there and we said, hey, listen, who would want to come into Upper Frederick? 1,400 homes here, roughly. You know, what could we do for our trash rates? And then maybe
That
for
require everybody to,
yeah, you would go under one contract. You know, it would be a service
I
pick.
believe that's how that works.
It
Once
is.
the township does it, then we will,
so people couldn't
pretty
knock
much, we
down.
have to tell people, this is now your
This is
provider.
it. But if
That's how it is
it's,
in my
And would you do the billing?
excuse me.
Other townships, they do the billing. You don't pay the trash service.
Okay.
You pay the township.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Some waste management will bill.
Will bill the
It's
individual.
directly.
Because I know, I think it's Red Hill, that's just included with their.
With your taxes.
Right.
Right. And I think that's how Douglas is too. Is that
No,
Douglas where they just
Douglas,
built that
they service it out
firehouse?
to waste management and they bill us directly.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the one over here.
The only problem you may
Firehouse.
run into
Yeah,
is
maybe
places
it's-
like the crossing may have 2 and
That's
3 year
right.
contracts with, because they have a homeowners association. So they may have signed a very long contract to get that guy to come in there, and you may have a problem with that.
Sure, or maybe that guy wants to do the rest of the township too, you know what I mean? Let's drive the rates down if we can, save a little bit of money. I don't know, it was just food for thought, something I thought about, I had it on my little notebook and I was like, let's talk about it, which doesn't hurt to
If
talk.
it's- If it's something else that can be implemented, look at when the HOA contracts are ending, try to stagger, implement it when they are due.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying let's do it tomorrow, I'm just
Yeah.
saying this is definitely something we should look at. I know it would bring the number down, that's a good thing.
And there's a
about-
difference on how many times a week people are picked up. Because the crossings, you're picked up twice. We're-
Recycling once, everything else is twice.
Yeah, we only get it once.
Yeah.
Nobody will service us more than once because the houses are too far apart.
Yeah, let's get them, man. Let's drive the rates down, get a little bit better service for everybody, that's how I look at it. Yes, sir.
While you're on trash, in the interim, is there anything we can do about whitetail when they're just driving down the street, all their trash is blowing out, they dump stuff in the streets, they don't pick it up. You call them, they say, yeah, we'll get around to it. I mean, don't we have a littering ordinance or something that we can hit them with?
I've never seen that.
I'm tired of cleaning up after them.
Yeah.
They come down, they miss their truck, they set it down, and they drive on. They just drive away, look at you, and drive away. It's like, yeah, but you gonna clean it up?
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely say something about it if it happens again, that's for sure. Oh, you've reached out to them for this item, for this complaint?
For that
Yeah, I think
complaint?
you had complained about
Mhm.
before. It's hard to get them to reply to anything, but they said they clean up after it, or they'll send somebody out to go clean it up.
No,
It's
okay,
as far as we can really get with them.
Mhm.
okay.
Because I think without having proof of it coming from their truck, they, you know what I mean, where's the proof?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
you do
if
the
you get
video.
pictures of it, that would be good too, would give us some fuel to go back to them,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get video pictures, constant.
So what are we trying to do with the trash? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it gonna be like something that's built into your taxes where you're taxed for trash or?
No, that's what we were just saying. So waste management, they actually bill you individually, or we could
It's
just.
just
you
getting
know,
a discounted rate for the town.
Yeah, it's just getting us all a big fat discount, and maybe getting us picked up twice a week, like, the crossing, they get picked up twice a week. I'm not saying I need it more than once a week, I'm just saying.
Right.
And maybe that's a complaint to,
Yeah,
Whitetail, is let them know that, you know, because township residents have complained, you know, we're gonna look at
other services,
other services to service the whole township.
I don't know, I was looking to save.
Because I'm sure quite a bit of us use Whitetail, I would think.
The only one you get now.
I know I do.
Yeah.
Is
All
that
right.
an option right now for residents to choose their service?
They're the only ones that come into this township.
No, there's others that come in.
There's others.
My neighbor has a different company that comes in our road.
Who's that, Dave?
I'm not sure who it is, it's a green can. I know that, I know he comes in at 5 o'clock in the morning and backs down the road. Beep, 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 beep.
What?
And it's not Whitetail,
Yeah,
because they come later and get mine.
Green would be
Waste management.
Yeah, so they must still
I think
come.
it's waste management. Yeah, our neighbor has that too.
Did you get waste management?
No, our neighbor has waste management.
Yeah.
I call
Because
waste
I know I
management.
called, my brother runs their, some work over there for him, and I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, they're not, you know, there's not enough people over there, so they don't service you.
Hmm.
Maybe they're not taking new people.
Almost possible,
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
dogs. Well, if the Christmas party goes. All right, any other, yes, sir?
Just another question about the stop signs that were put in on Deep Creek Road and Perkiomenville Road. I looked at like the minutes and that was never on the agenda. Is that in Upper Frederick?
I have an answer to that,
Oh, you do? Oh, perfect.
The county road?
because it was the day I filled in for Kate while she was on vacation. That
Okay,
came up as a
perfect.
topic. I bet Kate could answer this too, because I think I put it in my notes. Well, maybe I
Yes.
didn't.
I'll
Maybe
let
we
you-
resolved it. Anyway, because we had a resident called in last Friday and said, what's up with the stop sign that's put down at the bottom of Perkiomenville and Deep Creek? He said, I'm watching people
Blow it.
confused and they're blowing through it. So I talked to Steve Heller and he drove down and looked at the stop sign. He called the county, and here the split on the road, one is, I guess one side's a state road and the other's a county side.
Yep.
And they came into an agreement to put the stop signs up, but never notified the township.
Oh, wow.
So
So
it just,
when can they ticket you for running it?
Yeah.
'Cause I went out the other day, didn't know it was there, and just went right through it. It's like, whoop.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I don't know. Actually, the resident did suggest putting it on the website, but
So Perkiomenville Road is the state
State
highway?
road.
That's
Yep.
the state highway?
it's Deep Creek is the one that's split.
It's county.
Right, it's
Oh, that's
county
the
on one
split.
side and it must be county,
If
I
you
guess,
make
on
a
the.
right when you come down Perkiomenville Road, it's state. If you make
State.
a left into
It's
the park,
county.
it's county.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
so they got, the county and the state got together, but didn't tell us that they put the stop signs up.
Penny
Steve
checks.
went down and validated it, so. that was
Penachek's, Page had it in it before it was done, that it was being done.
But it was
What
needed
did-
there.
Tracy Pencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had it on her page.
Oh, okay.
They were-
Yeah,
they
well,
were
we're talking about
voting
that
in.
intersection. What's going on with the person living in the van? Because she's living in the van
Mhm.
again.
So last I spoke to Norm, actually, Mr. Coach, is it
Yes.
John Coach?
John Cook, yeah.
John Cook?
Cook.
John Cook. So I reached out to him, I wrote him an email, never heard back from him. Asked Norm about it, and he said, you know, I guess he goes out there to talk to the young lady, or lady, gets midway through conversation with him and starts working towards what's the next step, and next thing you know, she's out west. When she comes back home, the process starts all over again. It's like a tactic she's using, he thinks. Without speaking to John, I don't know. But she's definitely, I see.
It's been years.
Yeah, I know. It's,
If I put a trailer in my yard, or not even a trailer, a van, and started living in it,
I'm
you
calling.
do something about it.
I'm calling.
And nobody has done anything for her. We're probably going on 5, 6, 7 years maybe now. You know, Bill, you drive by all the
Yeah, but
time.
the same thing's happening on Becker Road, and I
Right.
filed a complaint, and I still haven't seen any
I
action.
mean, I don't have nothing against this woman. I'm just afraid you're gonna find her dead in the van one morning. She's not a young person.
Sure.
She doesn't look very healthy. She may be healthy, but come on, you're running an extension cord and live in a van 24/7. I have no idea what she's
And
using.
she owns the property?
Yeah.
I thought she was
What?
going through a bankruptcy right now, when you don't pay your bill. They take-
Repossession.
Like a
I
repossession?
have no idea.
Foreclosure, that's the word I'm looking for.
But, you know, everybody keeps saying she's using the bathrooms in the building and all. To my knowledge, there's no bathrooms in it. And I know somebody that took them out.
Yeah, well, yeah, so the history on that was Mr. Mack redid the whole building, she moves in, tears everything out. I read something where Mr. Koch went in and actually looked at the plumbing in there, it's there.
Is it there?
She has something to use. So I think that's kind of that gray area where we're at, we can't really tell her what she can.
Because you have another problem, because the septic is not on that property, septic's on someone else's property. For the inn.
Oh,
And the well's on somebody, the well and the septic is shared with the apartment building across the street,
okay,
which she no longer owns. I mean, the township's aware that this is not a secret.
yeah,
It's something that was pre-existing,
okay.
but it's just, only because we back up to it, it's scary. Does she have water? What is she doing? You
Can we
know,
send a constable out, ain't that part of what you do here? I'm being serious, I don't know.
I have no legal authority to do anything. I mean, I can, if the township wants papers served on or something else like that, yeah, I'm more than do it for you. But I mean, I don't have any legal authority to do anything as far as saying you can't live here.
Okay, so let me reach out to
Not my
Mr.
program.
Koch.
But
and just to see if we could get her to move into the building even, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, some of these nights that were single digits and she's out there in a van with a little electric heater running, because I'm sure that's what the extension cord is for. And, you know, I just keep waiting to get a fire call for the inn, that she's burned up in the trailer. Not the trailer, in the van.
Yeah. Well,
Because
let
she's
me-
not even in the trailer, she's in the van. When you drive by there now, it'll be a glow in the windows of the van.
I'll reach out to John again tomorrow.
Yeah, can you CC us on that, so I
And I don't
can,
have a problem.
because I did email.
I'll reach out to him about it. It was 1732 Becker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I know we sent it to him.
I got a question on this same property that David just talked about.
And that
the
thing goes
inn
up
down
in
there.
flames.
Is there a zoning issue or something down there that, you know, I just can't see why nobody has ever bought that place and turned it
It's-
back into the pub and, you know,
It's
what it
lost,
was.
it's lost its grandfatherness because it's been closed so long. So the only thing she can sell it for is a single-family home. And she wants 750,000, am I right, somewhere around there.
But it was.
Is what she wants.
Does she have it listed for sale?
She did, I don't know if she still does, but it has to go as a single-family home now, because she lost her grandfather in because it was closed for so long.
Is there something that the township, by ordinance, resolution, or variance can do to make it that it can be again, so that she could sell it? Maybe we get a beautiful little business down there, right at the end. I mean,
Like a
trail, the
trail,
bridge is
yeah.
fixed, it's
Yeah, it would
preserved
be
by
nice if it
county.
was,
That would be beautiful down there.
if it was
Gotta be
usable.
careful, that's how Cloud 9 got put in.
What's wrong with Cloud Nine?
Cloud 9 was supposed to be a dinner theater, and it's covered by the exact same license.
No.
And the last minute
Adult
he,
entertainment.
and the last minute he changed it from a dinner theater to what it is now. And he didn't need to change the zoning because he beat him.
What is it now?
Well, you still
Still
serve
Cloud
food
Nine.
there.
What is it?
It's the nudie bar.
And you notice how?
It's in Hardinsville. I saw your car there. But that's how you gotta be careful what you rezone it for.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah, I'd just like to see if, so we don't have what we have now. It actually becomes nice historic property. You can stop and have a sandwich and a beer as you're riding the trail.
it was closed down by the liquor control board, is why it's closed.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was closed by the liquor, not her, she didn't run it, but when it was being run, she was renting it to someone and it was closed by the liquor control board.
Okay.
Underage drinking.
Yeah.
Dogs. Kids being kids.
Now, over that area, I live over there, and the street properties, one Mr. Hansen's talking about, the one that Bill's talking about, and there's an abandoned trailer near us.
Yeah.
All three issues. In my opinion, we've been chasing this for 4 years. And the only feedback I get is that it's a complicated problem to deal with this. But code enforcement candidly does not seem to be very aggressive about it. I mean, to me, I understand it's a difficult process, but when 3 or 4 years go by and nothing is done to address these issues, they're all three accidents waiting it out.
We heard about them in the last few meetings. So Bill did our first step is to the code enforcement officer, John.
That started
Code.
3 years ago.
That's where we're starting. And then,
Is LTL, do they handle the code enforcement? Is
It's-
that part of
it is
LTL, part of their
John
group?
yeah, he's with LTO.
So I did send him an email, and I think I'll send him another one, just as a follow-up, but I'll put all three of these in the same bucket, and just tell him, listen.
Because he's right, I wait for a fire call to any one of the three places every night.
There is I don't know what you want to call it in the code, there is a provision for you do so much, but once it's deemed a safety hazard, fire hazard, or whatever, you can basically notify them to remove it. Or if it's not done in accordance to the schedule, the township can remove it and bill that
And
party.
build that person, I read
Correct.
that too, but I thought that was in place for an elder cottage or something I read.
That's,
No, that's
Correct.
when if somebody does an elderly cottage,
Yeah,
you make them put up escrow that they'll remove it when the person passes.
yeah.
That was done a long time ago, that.
Okay.
yeah, there's.
So you couldn't turn into a rental property later on.
One additional comment, I got a copy from, a reply from code enforcement somewhere back in February, stating that it's a complicated situation and but they had no solution. They didn't know how to go about getting title to this property and having it addressed and getting this trailer, fire hazard. It's within I think there's 2 school bus stops within 150 feet of the place. And the comment was, I don't know what to do about it. I have to contact the solicitor.
And people are in and out of that trail.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, the people just,
You talking about the one with graffiti, is that what you guys are talking about here?
where?
What trail are you talking about?
1716 Snyder Road.
Yeah.
That's the one